With James Bezan, Conservative MP for Selkirk Interlake Eastman in Manitoba. Mr. Bezan, thanks for your time.
Hey, glad to be here.
Now, you've served in Parliament for a long time with Pierre Poilievre, and you were one of the first MPs to give him your endorsement earlier this year. Why?
Well, having served with Pierre over the past 18 years, I know that not only he is one of the best orators in Parliament, but he is also one of the most intelligent and articulate individuals we have. He's a bit of a policy wonk, but that's what we need. Somebody that can actually sit down and define what we need to be doing as a party to resonate with Canadians. And if you look at this incredible campaign he just ran, here he is out there bringing new people into the Conservative movement that we haven't had in the past, and reaching out to demographics and different generations than what usually have supported Conservatives historically. So, here's a person that has really taken our party and moved it into the whole next level, which will be very difficult to stop, and we go into the next federal election.
Now, of course, there's a lot of speculation about how the results are going to go tonight, what the numbers are going to be. What are you watching for?
What I'm watching for is the overall vote count and see how they come in, especially from Eastern Canada. I know that out in Western Canada, as to be expected, Pierre resonated overwhelmingly. Membership sales were historical, right across the country for that matter, though. And but the highest level of memberships sold in my riding in Manitoba in my tenure. So this is an exciting time. But it was a hard-fought election, and this is we're not taking it for granted. The Charest camp and Lewis camp and others, we're out there, we're hustling and talking to their constituents. But I've got fingers crossed at the end of the day that we will be victorious tonight.
Well, speaking of that campaign, there have been harsh words exchanged on the debate stage and on social media. What's your impression of how that campaign has unfolded and how the party perhaps has to now unite after tonight?
Well, I think the party will unite. The party will always get behind the leader that is ultimately elected. I think that, some of the riffs that may have been out there were over-exaggerated by, both the context and tone in social media as well as mainstream media. But I do believe that at the end of the day here that all camps will come together, that we'll get behind the new leader as we did after the Erin O'Toole won, after Andrew Scheer won. Things sometimes get said, but at the same time, I think that most of the attacks were against Pierre himself, and I think that one thing he has proven through this process is that you just don't sit there and take the punches. You've got to be able to have a counter-strike as well.
All right, last question for you, and it's looking forward. If indeed Mr. Poilievre does take over as leader, will there be a change in tone, a change in message as he begins as leader of the opposition?
I think, if Pierre wins tonight, I think what you see is what you get. And that's one thing I love about him, is the Pierre that I was elected with back in 2004 is the same Pierre today. Definitely has matured over that time, but as we all have, as we get older. But his core message, his core principles, and the message that he was promoting out to Canadians from coast to coast to coast at rallies that we've never experienced in Canadian history. Almost 100,000 people came to his rallies, and just shy of 80 rallies that he held across the country. Crowds in Winnipeg that I've never seen before for any political movement, for any political leader of any political party. And I expect that we'll be getting more of the same.
All right, James Bezan, thank you so much for your time as we await the results tonight. Peter, back to you.